Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. I had a lot of emotions in this episode. There was times where I got annoyed. You can guess what time those are. There was times where I laughed my ass off because I was just like, what? Okay. So let's talk about the part that I laughed, and we'll get to the other stuff in a minute. So you got, the devil that's facing off against, Ciara and Ben and Julie and Doug. And Julie and Doug, Julie mostly is, making this speech about love and how we're going to defeat you and blah, 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 blah. It just sounds so corny and so over the top. And I get it's a soap opera, but this is reasons why something like, it seems like, adding in a supernatural element into it doesn't necessarily work, okay? Because it's soap opera, we gotta kind of drag it out, okay? And in reality, devil just has to sit there and be like, alright, cool, let me just burn y'all to the stake and just be done with it. But no, we gotta get these speeches, these long monologues, okay? And of course, back at John's place, he's talking to Gabriel. Now, I'm going to be honest, it pisses me off, to be honest, because, and I said honest twice, 3 times. Anyway, point is, you got Gabriel that's like, listening, I'm not supposed to sit there and interfere, I'm not supposed to interfere with mortals and stuff like that. I was like, wait, let me get this straight. You, Gabriel, an archangel, is not supposed to interfere with humans and their affairs. But Morningstar, who is also an archangel, he's allowed to just roam free and just do whatever he wants, and that somehow, how is that fair? How does that work? I know it's a soap opera and I'm asking way too many questions, but it was just a simple fact. It was like, well, I normally can't get involved in these things. Are you kidding me? He's literally raising the dead, and you're just like, nah, we're not allowed to get in, we're not allowed to deal with those pesky human affairs. Anyway, gives him a necklace, and he comes to the house just in time to douse the flames. Like I said, the whole scene was just silly and kind of annoying, and just, I don't know, just the monologuing of everything. Ben is all like, oh, well, you're going to have to sit there and get through me. You're going to have to kill me to get to Ciara. And, Morningstar was just like, alright, that's fine. No, then we got a monologue. Anyway, John gets there, and he stops the flames. He's like, I'm here just in time. And you got that stupid, corny music. I don't know how long they've been doing out the whole helicopter thing, but it's like, even when a moment's about to be good, I feel like that just ruins it for me. Anyway, he comes in there, and, Morningstar looks at, the pendulum or whatever. It's like, I see Gabriel got, I see you got that from Gabriel, even though he's not supposed to interfere. And yet, you're here. But okay, let's just move past my little gripe about that. And then John starts to, put the medallion, his necklace in his hand, and he does this. And, and this is where it's like, alright, we need to wrap this up. We need to wrap this up now. Because, I'm laughing. I'm getting a good kick out of this. Okay? But whatever sort of soap opera thing was going on, it's turned into a damn comedy. And I get it. They're not supposed, they don't really do action scenes or special effects and stuff like that. And it clearly shows. But it was funny to me. So I could have watched him do that all day. And he was literally doing that for a good minute, just throwing her around and doing this and doing that. And he was like, I'm sorry, Doc. And that was literally the highlight of this whole episode, Oh my goodness, when I'm done with this review, I'm going to go back before I actually watch The Matrix. And watch that scene, I'll give it 4 times because it was just that funny. Anyway, knocks him out and takes him back to his place, ties him up, and, the Morning Star wakes up. I don't know why, but calling him Morning Star instead of saying the D somehow creeps me out a little bit less, to be honest. Besides, whenever I think of Morning Star, I think of Lucifer the show, which still watched the last season, but that's beside the point. Anyway, wakes up, tied up, and he's all like, "Oh, get used to your new accommodations or something." Now, I'm assuming that rope must be doused with holy water, because if the devils can just snap metal cuffs like they're nothing, that should be like a piece of cake. Anyway, Jennifer's back, so that was nice to see. She still says she got some stuff wrapped up to do, so she'll come back, she'll come back eventually. They all head over to Julie's place. Now everyone's there. You see Thomas and Charlotte, which I haven't seen them in like ages, so that was nice to sit there and see. You don't really see the kids anymore, really, because, rules and stuff like that. But it was nice that they're seeing them with their parents or whatever for the holidays. Everyone's there celebrating. You got Jennifer, you got Chad, Abby. Now Ben is like, yeah, you know what? I think I should just head on out. I think I should just sit there and head on out because, I don't want to really kind of spoil the mood and stuff like that. And, Sierra's like, nah, you're going to stay. You're family. And Chad and Abigail comes over and Chad's like, yo, listen, it's about family today. We can, pretty much like, yo, we can hash this out tomorrow, but like right now, everyone's here. It's about, whatever. And it was sort of the same thing with, B&B. It's like, we can have our issues tomorrow, but today is about family. And it was actually kind of nice to sit there and see. I don't know if this is going to be kind of a permanent thing, but at least for, the holidays, it's, they kind of put a kibosh, however you sit there and announce it, on their whole thing. Now, Allie and Trip are sitting there looking, Allie and Steve, well, Allie comes over to Steve, and she's worried about Trip because she's like, yo, he was supposed to be back yesterday, and he's not there, and like, what's going on? So, they are looking through Kayla's computer, because, given the circumstances with the devil just roaming around, she's like, alright, fine, I'm going to just let you use my key, access to the hospital and everything like that. They get a call from Bella and tells him that, yo, whoever's in that bed is not Jan Spears. So they go to Trip's room, well, where Trip is at. They see him hooked up on ventilators and stuff like that, and Steve is like, oh, I don't know what kind of doctor is going to sit there and be able to help fix this. And then the next scene, he's off the ventilator. Anyway, Allie says some words about love and wanting him back and all this other stuff, and eventually he wakes up, and that pretty much ends that. Now, let's get to the part where I was annoyed. Jan Spears. And I think name is Herman, was sitting there telling me that most people don't like Jan Spears, and they kind of need Jan Spears because Bella and Sean are so boring that they kind of need somebody to kind of start a pot. And I feel like it's one of those situations where it's like, for me, it's like, if it takes somebody that's so annoying to make the other two characters interesting, then you're doing something wrong. And you need to find a way to fix them. Because this whole, and by the way, try to sit there and decide which one else to go first. Um, but just having Jan Spears come up every 5 minutes or every year or so, just sit there and cause trouble, it's like, come on, they're just that dull where it's like, you need Jan Spears to sit there and make them interesting? This is a problem. Anyway, Bella catches Sean in bed, which looks like her, but eventually the magic or potion or whatever wears off, and that's when Jan Spears just starts going on and on and on and on and on. After a while, it was like, I almost felt like I had to start fast forwarding after a while because I just couldn't take. Because all she kept doing was taunting her. Oh, well, you're good and bad, and you should come back to bed. And at one point, she was like, oh, you should join us too. And here's the thing. Normally, I'd be like, all right, now this got a little kind of interesting. But with Jan Spears, it's like, no, no, you're still annoying, no. So she goes on and on and on until eventually Sean decides to take her down to the police station. Now, there's one point where Bella's like, you should have knew, you should have, checked to make sure it wasn't the devil and stuff like that before, you decide to jump in bed with her. But after hearing everything, and I'm not going to lie, I was a little kind of annoyed about that too. I was like, Bella, listen, you're dealing with a supernatural entity. Okay, it wasn't like it was a Bella mask on or anything like that. Like, you act like he did it on purpose, but Jan Spears gets to the police station. She goes on and on and on and on and on, like usual. Eventually, Bella's like, listen, I'm just gonna move past it. Let's, celebrate our our anniversary or whatever. And I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's gonna be a crack in the marriage, and maybe it will give us something interesting. But it's like, think about where it came from. Like, here's the thing. I blame the writing. That you have to sit there and recycle a character, just to stir up the pot and be like, oh, well, it's interesting now. And it's like, no, it's not interesting. It's just like, this is dumb. Anyway, I think for the most part, that's about it. If I forgot anything, please write down in the comment section below. I want to thank everyone for watching. Hope everyone has a great, safe holiday. See you in the next video.